Time is 5:30, 10/17/2023. This is a budget meeting for the Tilton Rockville Fire Department. Those here are the three commissioners, Kathy Turbine and the chief.
Page 3.
That's where we left off.
Well, we did do some, now we have information.
4153, legal expense.
I sent an email out to you guys maybe a month ago about this.
Yep. About what the trial may cost.
Yes. A bad trial would result in like over $20,000. A good trial should be half that. And then we have our other legal expenses, that's why.
What about, maybe I'm confusing you, but I thought in one of the legalese things that we had, there was, like, they may send it, could they send us into mediation? Could they?
So we're scheduled to go to trial. It's a jury.
No, I know that, but I mean, I know we've had it on the table. It's been shot down, but I didn't know if the court can say, you know, figure it out.
The judge can say that, but I don't know if she will at this point. The other thing is that none of we won't have an expert witness because none of the companies that compete against the water district's company said that the time frame given by the judge for trial was enough time to do what they needed to do.
So more than likely, we are going to lose.
Well, the attorney said that he had other means to, strategies to counteract their expert witness.
I'm not sure I'd use the word lose, but we're going to be found liable to pay for some water.
And I think what we've opted to pay for it, but they just don't want to listen to us at this point for some reason. This will all go away if they just accept what our offer was, which I thought was very reasonable.
I mean, they have to have a legal expense too.
Theirs are probably just as much as ours.
So you're basing $30,000 on
A trial that goes poorly, extended from what our attorney Fitzgerald has said. If it goes poorly, it's going to cost a little over $20,000, and then we have our other legal expenses that we have, you know, reviewing contracts, easements and things like that for the, you know, all our water things and things like that.
Do we? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Chief.
So that's kind of where I came up with that number.
Kathy, are you able to go back a few more years on your computer as to what we spent in that line item for like 2019, 18?
Sure, just give me a moment.
Were we supposed to meet with our attorney at our last meeting and he wasn't there?
He wasn't able to make it.
Right.
He was,
But are we going to have that meeting with him at a future date before the trial?
yes. I'll see if he can come to the next commissioner's meeting in November.
I just want to get a better pulse from him.
I understand.
Because, I mean, we appropriated 40 this year,
Yeah, so we won't be spending that.
but I didn't know if, what's the word I would like to do? What is it when you take the money from this year and spend it next year?
Oh,
Encumber.
encumber.
Encumber, is there a way for us to encumber?
No,
Unless we have a signed contract or purchase order, we cannot encumber it. Well, purchase order automatically encumbers it. But unless we have a signed contract for a certain service, for a certain fee, we cannot encumber it.
Okay, but can we ask the attorney, hey, can we do $15,000? And, because, I mean, it doesn't look like we're gonna come close to spending what we appropriated this year. And I think we were, I think we had that amount in there.
Like a retainer or something?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's something that we can legally do, but I hate to, you know, we're gonna, if this holds true.
I understand where you're going, I'll ask him when I call him.
So we've spent just 11,383 so far.
This year, yes.
Right, but why can't we take 15,000 from this year and put it towards the court case? I don't know, I just don't want to have
we
to.
try.
If you don't ask, I mean, that's, I'm not good at math again, but it's like $25,000 that we're gonna have left over. I mean, I don't know if we've gotten any more bills due, I have no idea.
So I'll ask him about like a retainer or something like that for next year in this fiscal budget. I'll ask him if it's legal.
Well, even, yeah, if he gave us a bill
Yeah.
and we paid it this year, yeah, use the money to the next year, yeah.
I don't know, I'm just, that's just my opinion, I'm one of three.
So I'll ask him,
And
and hopefully he'll come to the next meeting, and he'll be able to answer that question for you guys.
Do you want to know what was spent or what was appropriated?
Spent.
In 2018, we spent nothing. In 2019, we spent $1,508. In 2020, we spent $437. And 2021, we spent $19,311.56.
Okay, so I have the rest of
And you have 2022 to date.
So do we want to hold off on that till we find out?
That's just my question, so again, I'm one of three, so.
I think it would be a good idea if we can, and find out if we can do that.
With me, let's move on then.
Okay. Health insurance, group health insurance, up 15%.
15.6.
Huh?
15.6.
15.6, sorry about that. I'd like to hold off on that until we get into wages and stuff like that there. All the insurances.
Insurance really isn't going to change.
Is that dollar amount calculated on?
Salaries, no.
No.
It's just the premiums that we have to pay.
No, but how did you come up with the 332,000?
It's based upon the insurance the employees choose. We have X number of single plans, X number of two-family, and X number of family.
So that's an
And
actual number based
That's
on
an
what you
actual number,
currently have?
yes.
Is that for people too?
That is included in there.
For people. So that includes.
Right, they haven't been broken out
Yeah.
as of this point, because that was going to be a separate slide when people asked.
And then the insurance, I'm sorry, can I ask?
Go ahead.
The insurance opt-out, that's what we pay them when they choose not to be on our insurance.
Correct.
Right, but they have to have insurance.
They have to have
by another
insurance.
means.
And there's a formula for that, as I remember.
Yes, it is the district's portion of the single-person plan.
And that's based again on the actual current.
There are 7 opt-outs.
So do you want to hold off on that?
If you'd like, I can tell you how much that is saving the district. Give me a moment.
For every person that opts out, it either saves us around 20 up to $10,000 or $20,000, depending upon what plan we're on.
It has saved us $143,635.76.
Wait, can you
In
repeat
this
that?
budget?
In this
Yeah, in
proposed
this budget.
Can you
Yes.
repeat that number?
$143,635.76. That is what it would save us if they opt, for the opt-outs. If they didn't opt out, adding them back into the budget would be $231,273.84 in addition to the figure here,
Wait, 231 what? Yeah.
$273.84. That's what it would cost if these 7 individuals did not opt out, in addition to the figure,
So,
in addition to the $332,000.
so it would be up over $500,000,
Yes,
or 600, probably closer to 600,000.
But you wouldn't have that $87,000.
right.
Right.
It would be in addition to the $332,000, not the $420,000.
Right. So one more time, if we didn't have any opt-outs, the total group health insurance dollar amount would be,
Let me add it up.
Five 63, 672.84.
Yeah, I rounded it to 563, 673.
16 cents maybe.
I didn't do the cents.
I did, because you did it. Equals that minus.
why can't I find last month's?
Any other questions on that? Or?
You don't want to talk about voting on those at this point? Okay.
Okay, short-term disability, it's down 1.3.
Correct.
That'd be affected by wages, so too, wouldn't it? Or is that a straight fix, doesn't matter.
That is based on wages.
Okay, so,
All the insurances are based on wages.
yeah,
aren't they?
so maybe we ought to skip all that till we get to there.
Why is that dollar amount so much less? Why is life insurance and long-term disability and short-term disability, why are they all down?
Because there was a decrease in the rate?
Not because there's fewer people,
No,
so it's all due to that?
it's all due to the rate. And there's one that isn't in there, it's the group line of duty. I'm waiting for that figure. You'll see that's highlighted on both sides.
Yes. Are those rates set based on the history of usage over the last years, specific to?
So we're in a
the
group with other people in our January, we renew in January. And so we're in a group with a whole bunch of other municipalities, and they do a actuarial thing, and they come up with what they're supposed to have, what their predicted their expenses are, and all that kind of stuff, and then they say, okay, these are the rates that we need to have to cover our expenses and what we need to have left in the bank for catastrophic stuff. That
So it could be based on low claims year last year and more members in the pool this year and.
yes.
Okay.
It's been pretty consistent the last few years, the actual expense.
next year when they have their informational session, if you guys want to come to it, it's really fun.
I detected a note of
You got a root canal scheduled that day.
You have what?
I was on vacation that day this year.
Wait, what is it?
So, I guess we want to hold off then until we find out. Because that includes the four people.
All of these
Yeah,
include
the 4 people.
all 20 employees
Yeah,
with, 19 full-time and the 1 part-time.
okay.
Is the part-time person covered by these insurances?
No,
Or everything else is
She has workman's comp.
workers' comp?
yeah,
And she gets, does she get any other fringe benefits?
no,
Insurance?
no insurance.
Not insurance, PTO or anything like that? Do they accumulate any PTO? Or holiday pay or anything?
If she doesn't work, she doesn't get paid.
Right.
Okay. No, I just ask.
No holiday pay or, she get holiday, nothing.
No, that's usually how PTO, part-timers get. Usually they're the ones stuck working the holiday, if it's in the public sector. Or private sector, sorry.
Right.
So I'd like to hold off on all of them right there till we find out, till we get the salaries and stuff.
Page 4?
Page 4, repairs and maintenance in the middle of page.
You okay with that?
Yeah. Are the actuals updated from the last time?
Yes, last time there was no actuals.
Okay. I thought, we were figuring out things for like September or something like that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, repairs and maintenance, Center Street Station. Looks like,
You want me to go over this?
sure.
So the top line, $5,500 is what I usually put in there to cover unexpected expenses that happen throughout the year. Whether it could be anything, fixing the toilet, dishwasher crapped out, those kinds of things. I have in here $9,500 for to have the outside of the building, all the lead paint stripped and removed and repainted. I have in here to replace 3 of the 4 beds at $1,800. And then the last 2 items are $360 for the fire alarm monitoring fee and the fee for the generator maintenance.
Questions, you guys?
Yeah, is there a reason why we would do the lead paint removal instead of holding off on that? In case we have a new building built?
So Captain Ames, who's in charge of the facilities, keeps putting this in, saying that he's been here for 20 years and we've been trying to build a fire station for 20 years and we haven't had the lead paint fixed, and he's questioning whether that's ever going to really happen. So this is
Jesus, probably not.
You're just fully.
Well, the opportunity. Well, I'm just, thinking aloud in so far as
so. I had the same thought.
the cost of, the total bottom line of this budget, which we haven't talked about at all because we're just going through line items. We're going to have some increases this year that are going to be surprising, I think, for the public. And
It wouldn't hurt my feelings if you cut some of that out.
well, it's one of the items in the
I just think, if we, there again, we're gonna go for a station. And every time we do stuff like this here, people say, what are you just throwing money away here? And I understand it's been a long time, it's been ongoing, but the more we keep, we've updated quite a bit in there. We've done a lot of work inside. In the last few years, we've done a tremendous amount of work. And it's great we've done it, because you guys live there, that's your home and everything. But the lead painting on the outside of the windows, it's been there for, how many years?
A long time.
I mean, is it, yeah, it's not, technically, it should be fixed. If we were gonna be there another 10 years, I agree, but I don't believe we're gonna be there 10 years. I really don't. Hopefully. Hopefully, you know, something gets done. And I think people, when they see that, you know, when they see stuff like this here, they say, God, they're gonna do that. Then if we get a new station, and say a new station in 2 years, you know, that money's, you throw it.
Well, you have to maintain the station.
I understand, but
So, but if you, I mean, the paint is peeling off that building, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
so that's a hazard, that's a health hazard right there, that, because you have kids that run around back there, you have,
Got the wheelie gang.
yeah, I mean, you got all sorts of people there. And I understand it, because I like that, you know, if things go well in March, we can say, hey, ixnay on the lead paint, or on the floor, you can get rid of that 9,500, because we know that we're gonna replace the station, but right now, we don't know when we're gonna replace that station. We hope sooner than later, but you have to maintain it, you know, because otherwise you're gonna start getting rot in the wood, because if it's exposed to the elements, it's not painting the whole station, it's just the trim, right?
It's the top of the, with a sign, which says Tilton Northfield Fire and all the windows. Everything else is vinyl.
Yeah.
And underneath that is the gasoline shingles.
That sucker goes up one day, it's gonna go up.
The asphalt shingles. Excuse me.
That's better.
But I also know we have to cut, because we are gonna cut. Tim just said, we're gonna have things
I
to.
comprehend the argument.
And, you know, I mean, I took the lead class. I've been through it 2 or 3 times there, and I actually got a lead license there. But anyhow, you know, there are a lot of places around got lead paint there, and, you know, yeah, it's unfortunate we got lead there, and it should be corrected, but I don't know, I just,
I'm sorry, can you go back to the 5,500? Is there a list of that, or is that?
That's just what if. That's the line that I use every year for what if. And sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. But that's the number I can use generally.
If a window cracks, you're gonna replace a window.
Yep. Windows, screens,
Someone,
blown away.
someone catches the edge of the garage with one of the apparatus.
Would that cover things like garage door repairs and?
The ceiling falls in on the captain.
Which has happened.
It has happened. Yes.
That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, the screw come out or whatever's holding it up.
Screw got tired of holding it up.
It did. Happened in my office, but it didn't.
It missed him.
Missed me.
Mine hit me.
We're glad you're okay. I think.
if somebody wants to make a motion.
Yeah, give me a second.
Is the generator, that's a maintenance or contract, or is that? And last year was $100, but this year it was $100 and $325 was spent.
Yeah. So we have a company coming in and doing it. We used to try and do it ourselves, but now it's, now we have a company doing it, make sure it's done right.
Can we go through and make, do one at a time here, because like I said,
I was gonna do a motion and
all of them or just one at a time?
all of them with
I'd like to do one at a time. I'll make a motion, we accept Center Street Station, $550 for maintenance and repairs.
I'll change it, 5,500.
Yeah, what was the correct dollar amount there?
Or 500, yeah, I'm sorry, 5,500.
It's your interest rate.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Next one.
I make a motion that we do not fund the lead paint prep.
I'll second the motion.
So motion been made, 9,500?
No,
No, to not fund.
to not fund.
Okay, yeah, I didn't
I don't know if we should make a motion on that or not,
Well,
but
that's, you're doing just fine.
Motion been made second, all those in favor?
Aye.
make a motion to fund 3 beds for $1,800.
I'll second it. The motion been made and second, all those in favor?
Aye. Make a motion that we fund line 430.05 Center Street fire alarm monitoring for $360.
I'll second it. And moved and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept 430011 generator, $325.
Second. Oops, sorry.
It's been moved and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That gives that section a grand total of $7,985.
Well, I was typing.
You okay, yeah, move on.
7985, you're right. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, line 430.02, Park Street Station. I assume this is the upkeep on it,
Mm-hmm.
for $3,500, $3,500.
That's correct.
And what do we have to do there, basically?
Well,
Anything major or?
the 3,500 is just for whatever happens during the course of the year that is unexpected. I also have some planned things in there. 2 of the windows need to be replaced, and 2 of the doors are rotting away that need to be replaced. And the estimate for that is $6,300.
What's the access control system?
So what we have, you know the fobs we use to get into the fire station now?
Instead of the keypad?
Instead of the punch keypad, the mechanical keypad, everything's electronic now. You don't have a fob, you can't get into the station. We want to put that same type of system over at Park Street, because as people come and go, the mechanical code still stays the same, and even though they're not employees anymore, they still can get in there. And we want to make that more secure. So if you're an employee, you have a fob, you get in. If you leave, we don't even care if you get the fob back, because we can just go in the computer and take you out, and it doesn't work anymore. And that would control 3 doors at Park Street, the security, the access control system. And that's from the same company that we did Center Street with. And then the repair of the line. Now, when the folks went in to do the borings, to do the site assessment, they brought these big tractors in, and the lawn is all like this now. And so when the guys are mowing the lawn, it's like, it needs to be flattened out. And so I got an estimate for them to come in and top dress it, make it smooth, and reseed it, and put straw over it next spring. And so it'll grow in, and we'll be able to mow it flat. Right now, with this, the lawnmower was bottoming out on some of the ruts and everything. We just had that whole mower deck was replaced last year, and I'm afraid we're gonna wreck it again.
I'll throw the question out there. But what if we're gonna build a new station there? Not that I don't think it's gonna be construction next year, but
And we still have to mow it next year, and perhaps the year after.
I guess I'd go through line by line, we can. I'll make a motion, 430.02, Park Street Station for $3,500 for upkeep.
I'll second it.
discussion?
Huh?
Is that enough, only because the last 2 years we've spent significantly more than that?
I hope it's enough.
Okay.
Okay, it's been moved and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Two windows, two doors.
Yeah, I see that, I'm just,
I mean, the other thing that we'll base, you know, if there's a positive vote that impacts the building down there, then obviously all these items can be removed from the budget. Because they, in theory, could be taken care of as part of the construction.
Just dumb question, but not a dumb question, legitimate question. Depending on where the order that the budget falls in the warrant, those items could be approved after the budget is approved, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's a bottom line budget, you vote on one number. And so if you want to change the budget, you have to either amend the budget up or down by whatever amount you want. It's not by line item.
No, I understand
So
that.
you can add up whatever lines you want to add or subtract from and come up, you'd have to do an amendment on the floor.
No, I understand that, but if the vote for the budget is warrant article number 2, or say 5, just because the first couple usually deal with voting. So let's say it's warrant article number 5 to approve the budget. And then to do the station, if the station's on the warrant this year, that could be item number 10.
That would be the first warrant article
It
on
would,
the floor, because it has to be open for an hour.
gotcha, okay.
so could we change if, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if, I don't wanna,
And I think last year, didn't you move the operating budget to like the last thing on the, was it the last?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
the only reason I say that is because someone all of a sudden decides to move to protect their vote. Now you can't go back and change the budget.
Well, if by some chance we have a bond article in the 2024 warrant, that would be first on the budget, that has to be open for an hour.
Right.
But you can transact other business and leave like your operating budget
Yeah,
until after the bond
we usually have enough
is counted.
things to go
There's
through.
enough things to go
Yeah.
through so that you can move on with the meeting until that's completed, if the bond rater so chooses.
And as you should know, the commissioners set what order they want the warrant articles in.
We want a bond up there first.
Well, that kind of has to be.
That's definitely the first.
And that may invoke some debate.
No, stop that. It's nonsense.
Okay,
Could we be ready to go for bond article
Oh, we don't know. Give us a couple.
24?
I have a feeling, no. I'm not in the building committee, so I don't know where
doors and windows.
I move that we replace 2 windows and 2 doors in the amount of $6,300.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and second. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye. I move the access control system for $7,585.
I'll second it.
Been moved and second. All those in
Wait,
favor?
I got a discussion question.
Okay, go ahead.
Can that system be removed and installed on a new station?
Well, all the brains of it can be, but probably like certain pieces of hardware probably would not be.
But the bulk of it would be transferable.
The expensive stuff.
It's just gonna be a question that's gonna come up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, I'll make a motion, lawn repair, $3,750.
I'll second it.
Been moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay?
Ayes have it.
High Street fire alarm monitoring, why was there no, have we not paid that bill? There was no money.
We still haven't paid it, they haven't sent the bill to us this year.
Was
But I
it,
got the estimate for next year.
was there no money appropriated for this year?
It doesn't look that way in the budget. But if we did get a bill for that, I would end up paying it. We do have alarm monitoring there.
Was that a contracted amount?
Wait a second,
What is that?
I changed that to 0, it should be 0. When I negotiated that, Mammoth Fire Alarm was allowed to put an antenna on the Shed Road thing, they're obligated to monitor our fire alarm system at the station for free, and one other station if it's so built. So, yeah, make that a 0. I withdraw the 465, that's why it wasn't.
It'll stay there, they can vote down. Just fund it at 0.
Make a motion, we fund line 430.06 Park Street fire alarm monitoring at $0.
I'll second that.
Been moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good.
Okay, $21,135 so far.
What is it?
$21,135. The only thing that wasn't voted on was the Park Street station sign, because there was no price in there.
Yeah.
Okay, line 430.03, custodian supplies, 5,000. And we've only spent 2,100, 2,178.
That's correct.
Is this for both locations?
It is.
Yes.
Is that a case of we buy stuff all at once and so it's not expense each month?
Right,
Yeah,
he
you buy in
buys
bulk.
bulk when it's needed.
And so the 2178 currently spent is not indicative of a trend in that line?
No,
I think if you look at the previous years, you'll see kind of where we've been every year.
I'd like to make a motion 430.03 custodian supplies, make that 4,500. That's about average in between the two.
I'll second that.
And move second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I just ask about the dumpster? We already approved that.
Yes,
It says 8% increase, that's a set fee for.
correct.
Okay. Doesn't matter how much trash we put in there, they come each, whatever.
Every couple of weeks.
Every
2 weeks.
Right, thank you.
Maybe we can, yeah, never mind. I just think that's something, God. Okay, workman's comp, we gotta skip that.
No,
Huh?
don't skip that, that's the figure that's been
That's-
provided.
It's-
But is that for the full people too?
That, it
well,
doesn't
that's
matter.
based
It doesn't
on-
matter, okay.
Doesn't matter, it's based
Okay.
on last year's.
Okay, 4196, insurance. 260 workman's comp, $63,069.
It's gone up amazingly.
Yes,
And that's a,
that's a set figure,
so that's a set figure right there.
yes.
That's it.
Yes, there's-
Feels like about 10,000.
Somebody gonna make motions too much for me.
Make a motion that we fund line 260 workers' compensation at $63,069.
And I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Same thing for property and liability.
So they've gone up too.
Boy, that's almost doubled since 2021.
Wow, that's gone up too. Line 480, property and liability insurance, $38,142. I'll make a motion, we accept line 480, property and liability insurance for $38,142.
I'll second it.
Then moved second, any discussion?
That's, who is that through? That
Primex.
MX.
Have we always had Primex? Going back, I mean, at least,
Since I've been here.
Once, we used to have the local government center,
yeah.
and then they went,
Oh, yeah.
so Primex is the game in town.
We can't like shop that out to
You'd never come up anywhere close. There are some municipalities that are self-funded, like Manchester
obviously. they
and
don't.
Concord,
Yeah.
but any municipality of our size, and Tilton, Northfield, even the water district uses Primex. The school district uses Primex. Everybody in state uses Primex unless they're self-funded. I don't know anybody that uses another company.
It strikes me funny why all these people can get together and
Because it's
the
a
school and,
it's a risk management pool.
I
They're
understand.
not an insurance company.
I understand how it works. But you think what the school pays, what the police department pay, what the fire department pays, and I don't know if you can bring in some other towns or something like that.
They
You
do.
think?
Bring-
Almost
yeah,
every municipality in New Hampshire is part of Primex.
Times at least,
Really?
say, time at least 300, because by the time you do schools and towns and,
But all I'm saying is, I wonder what their take is out of it. I mean, they're an insurance company, they have people that work for them that,
They do. They have, people that work for them. They do risk management. We had a guy out last, was it Monday or Friday, I forget what day. Rob Barry came to do our cybersecurity risk assessment with Mainstay, and telling us what we're doing well, what we need to improve on, and what we're not doing well on in regards to security of our data and our computer systems, and even though it's in the cloud, it's still vulnerable and stuff like that. So they do that kind of stuff, because if we get hacked and held for ransom, it wouldn't be a good day.
and they also pay if something happened liability wise,
Yeah,
where
so like if there's an accident with the fire truck or,
I was trying to avoid that one.
well, they're the ones that cover, they're the ones that cover that kind of stuff.
So they got to pay out for everyone.
Yeah, if it's, say,
Somebody falls
an
down the
uninsured
stairs.
motorist drives through the fire station for some reason, they cover that.
If someone falls down the stairs.
Someone falls down the stairs, which happens.
Yes, we've been lucky so far.
I guess that's what it is.
Jesus.
Okay, it's been moved, and I believe second. All those in favor? Aye.
That's one of the things when you look at the budget, there's very little discretionary spending in this budget. It's true. And, you know, we keep moving more things out of the budget. You're gonna be left with less and less discretionary spending in the budget. And when you take the discretionary as a percentage, it's a pretty small amount of money.
Okay, here's this one here, I think we're gonna kind of move along, just skip that. There you go. Okay, yeah, line 335,
Yes,
school training fees.
So this is the amount that I will be paying next year for required training for our employees. That's paramedic recertifications, EMT recertifications. There's a lot of medical recertifications in there, RSI recertifications, things like that. Also included in there is our swift water training, our confined space training, our trench rescue training. Also included in there is live burns. Let's do that.
Are there any planned for next year? At this
We
point?
usually, we don't know until they come up and say, hey, can you burn this down for us? So I plan on it, but sometimes we don't have one. Sometimes we have two, sometimes we have three.
Like you haven't had this one this year?
Haven't had one this year.
Is the reason the 2023 actual is so low is because we haven't finished getting all those recertifications?
Correct.
So they just, all those recertifications is just starting now, all the classes for those.
they start them in the fall.
So do you anticipate that the actuals for this year will be that dollar amount or
I
close?
think it'll be close. It also includes when we send people to out of state to seminars for certifications, for different certifications and things like that.
Because actually in 2021, it was only, what, a little over 8,000.
Well, that was COVID.
That was COVID.
Okay.
First thing I said too. Oh wait, no, that was COVID. How often do you send people out of state?
Out of state, not too often, usually once or twice a year. I think last year we probably did 3. This year we haven't done any yet that I'm aware of.
We did.
Where out
Oh,
of
I went in
state?
January.
You went in January and then, they did-
Gilman went in April or May,
well, that was the fire
Fire
academy.
Academy.
So all that cost us was the meal ticket. And then Leathers went to the protective gear
Yeah,
seminar.
that's right.
Do these certifications do they renew annually or is it?
So it depends upon what certification it is. So like paramedic certification, EMT certification, that's every other year. But not everybody recertifies the same. It's kind of split. Incident safety officer, that's every 2 years. The technical rescue trainings that we do, those aren't really recertifications, but those are skills that if you don't practice them, they're very perishable and they're very high-risk events, so we make sure that we practice them so if we have those events that we're going to do it safely, not hurt anybody, lose somebody. So that's why we have to do those things.
For an oddball question out there. But this room that we're sitting in, the police department hosts a variety of seminars, and they're actually able to save money because they generally, if they're hosting an event as training, they don't have to pay for it. They usually get a
Yeah, so if we host an event, we don't have to pay for them.
So has there ever been discussion with the police department about using this room to be able to do that a couple times? I don't know.
Have not. No.
Maybe it's something we could look into.
Does your training, is your training such that you can have it in a room like this, or is
There
your
are
training?
some classroom trainings. Most of the ones that I talk about are outside. Like at we use our training ground. Like when we're training new guys for firefighter 1 or firefighter 2 certifications, many times the fire academy will use our training facility.
We have some, if we have, I'm sure you have people that do the training. When you have other people that come in to do the training, do they pay, how come we don't get something out of it? I mean, we end up paying to go to these other functions when somebody gets certified. I'm sure we have guys that certified some of the firefighters that come here from different areas.
So what happens is, like, I'll take firefighter 1 certification training. That's usually hosted by the state, and they ask us if they can use our training facility. I let them. I mean, the state doesn't reimburse.
No, I understand that, but if we have a guy, let's say one of your firefighters or captains or whatever, puts on a class and somebody from Franklin, Laconia, Belmont, they come and we're certifying them go to this class.
So we don't do the certifications. The certifications are run through the state fire academy. We may have the class, but the actual certification is a test you have to take through the fire academy.
We still put it on and
We may host it.
okay,
We'll host it.
host it, okay, we host it. So when we go to these functions that somebody else is hosting, we end up paying a lot of times, don't we?
For our student who's in it. So like when we do firefighter 1, there's a lot of classroom.
Yeah.
We can't do the classroom. So like they'll hold the classroom sessions up in New Hampton or somebody with a good training room, and they'll do the practical like the smoke practical sessions here. They'll do the auto extrication session at somebody else's fire department, things like that.
Everybody pays for the class for the fire academy. The fire academy puts them on, and the different departments host them.
But the departments aren't making
The
anything.
departments aren't making
Nobody
anything for
makes money
hosting.
on it.
So some of it's a convenience to have it at your station.
Right.
So you guys aren't traveling halfway
Yeah,
across
say
the
we're not
state.
paying travel
Right.
expense.
Right.
Well, I was concerned because, let's say one of our firefighters hosts a class, we are paying for his hosting it, to host it.
No.
No. If a firefighter wants to put a class on,
So in other words,
that's his own private business.
if somebody,
You still have to get it CREF'd by the state.
it don't cost us a dime for him to go in and put on a class or teach something.
If he wants to do it on his own, that's
Yeah.
fine. We don't pay our instructors to teach other people classes unless it's through the state or Lakes Region Mutual Fire Aid. It's like, there's no like ad hoc classes that we have. Most of, like, we have our Monday night trainings every.
I understand that, I understand that, but I'm talking about when,
There's no money to be had and there's no discount.
well, no, I'm not looking for an income, I'm looking at, do we pay overtime for somebody to teach that, or put on that
No.
class, or?
No.
Not, and I'm not
No,
talking.
because if the class is sponsored by the fire academy and we have one of our people teaching that class, the fire academy pays
Pays for his salary.
pays their salary because they're an employee, part-time employee of the fire academy. They get whatever, I don't even know what they make an hour.
Not good.
Okay.
So the instructors pay for those classes are paid by the tuition that the students pay.
Because I remember, I think it was last year, they were telling me you had something up at school, and the instructor come in and put on a class.
That was a seminar.
That was, yeah,
Okay,
the
so-
Professional Firefighters Association put that on, not the fire department.
And we didn't have to pay a dime for it.
No,
No.
nothing came out of the fire department.
Okay, no, okay, that's all I need to know. Okay. Okay, somebody want to make a motion on school training?
Do we already do that? Okay,
No.
I move 335 school and / training fees, $20,975.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next is information technology. It's up 6.5%. Okay, let's start with number one. 34201, Imogen Trend, $1,000. What?
Do you want me to go through all these so you know what they are?
Yeah, be sure.
Okay, image trend is, this is, so we have a CAD system for dispatching at the communication center. The image trend is our records management system. This $1,000 is for the connection between the CAD system and the image trend system. So when they type in an incident, the times and address and all the information from the CAD gets transferred to our records management system. So when the guys go to fill out the report, all the times are accurate to what dispatch has, the address, any special hazards or things get all put in the report, and then our guys finish putting out doing the report. It's the interface, I should say,
Mhm.
is the actual term.
Is that part of that new update that they've been doing up there?
Yes.
And is,
Hopefully it should go live by the end of this month or first or second. of November.
this year, we budgeted $3,562, but it's gonna be a fee of $1,000?
Yeah, well, because we had to pay the initiation fee last year. So it's $1,000 going forward, until they raise it.
Okay, I'll make a motion, 342.01, Imogen Trend for $1,000.
No, second.
Then moved second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
342.02, IT service.
This is the money we pay Mainstay to maintain all our systems. And it's a monthly bill. Comes in monthly.
What's it? So it's roughly $800 or $900, eight something a month?
Yes, 800 or 900. It's closer to 900.
Who was it, Mainstay?
Mainstay Technologies.
Thank you.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion we fund line 342.02, IT services for $10,760.
I'll second that.
Then moved second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Bless you.
That's you.
Thank you. I'm allergic to that stuff.
Okay, 342.03, antivirus defend, I can't see, it's so small. Defender Microsoft. ATP,
Yes,
$192.
that's our antivirus protection.
I'll make a motion, we accept line 34203, antivirus defender Microsoft ATP for $192.
I'll second.
And moved second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 342.05, computer hardware, switch to PC, $8,400.
So 2 of our PCs are timing out. They're 5 or 6 years old, and they need to be replaced, which is only, it comes out to about, what is it, $1,200 or something like that a PC. It's the workstations, but the main thing is this, the managed switch has to be replaced, because
That's old.
that's old and it's not supported anymore.
What will replace the switch?
A new switch.
Oh,
It's a box with 1 million wires going in and 1 million wires coming out.
He's exaggerating, well, it's probably not a million, but.
It's probably not, no, it's probably,
Technology is expensive.
it's probably a few dozen.
Well,
And
technology is expensive. In this case, it's managed, and to purchase a managed switch, there's a lot more technology in it, and operating system to it. I'm sure that's what
mainstay,
uses to support us.
I know it's a box about this big, about this thick, and like I say, a bunch of wires go in and a bunch of wires come out.
I can show you a picture of a box, bunch of wires going in, bunch of wires coming out. And I don't know what any of it is.
How many PCs do we have, and how,
1, 2, 3,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 workstations. 1, 2, 3 laptops, not counting the training laptop.
Right,
And then there's 2 tough books in the engines.
but those, yeah,
are those purchased out of a different line?
they were.
They were, those should last a few more years. Then there's the iPads and the ambulances and car 1 and car 3. I think that's it. Yes.
Somebody make a motion?
I move line 342.05 computer hardware for $8,400.
I'll second.
Move the second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll wait to see if Paul might approve on that.
Office 365, that's the
That's our-
license.
Yes,
Yeah, good owners.
I
I
know.
move, that's the software they run.
Yeah.
It's a subscription. You just pay for it each year.
Line 342.06, Microsoft Office 365 for $6,600.
Second. That was a motion, right?
Yeah, Tim motioned.
Oh,
No,
Did-
I was going to call motion,
Okay,
oh,
the move and second, all those in favor?
no. Aye.
sorry.
All right, I'll make sure it's Paul.
Okay. 342.07,
That's
TNF
the new website.
website
That's good.
for $4,550.
Posting.
Mm-hmm,
That's the hosting fee?
Yes.
mm-hmm.
We're almost done with it. It's ready, almost ready to go live.
Motion or?
I make a motion that we fund 342.07 website for $4,550.
Second.
It's been moved and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
342.10, QuickBooks. 3, users license
This
Yes.
is an annual user license.
Yes,
for $3,231. Last year's.
Why does the license amount change?
because they had a rate increase.
But we've spent $3,827 so far this year. There was 1,000 the year before, and there was
Because
26.
we had more
We had-
licenses.
Yeah, we had more licenses.
Ah,
We decreased the license.
We had 5
Okay.
and decreased it to 3.
I'll make a motion, 342.10, QuickBooks, 3-user license for $3,231.
I'll second that.
And moving second, all those in favor?
Aye. Jeez.
342.11, QuickBooks, hosting
That's so it could be in the cloud.
for $2,680.
It's a service somewhere else, multiple service somewhere else.
What's the cost? It's redundancy is really what it is.
Yes.
Which is very important because God forbid you get power surge.
Yeah, no kidding, right? That would be
I'll
horrible.
make a motion to fund line 342.11, QuickBooks hosting at $2,680.
I'll second that.
And moving second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Problem is these companies know they got you because you've been using them for so long, you can't like just transfer to another software.
We went to them when our server died.
Mm.
Didn't want to go through another crash.
Okay, 342.12, Adobe Pearl, what is that, for $408?
So you know PDF files?
Yeah,
So this allows us to edit, manipulate PDF files, but if you don't have it, you can't do it.
wow.
Another software.
Yeah.
We use it all the time.
Not like the olden days when you bought it and you owned it.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
just
You
a
used to,
subscription and you keep.
like when you get a PC, you get the Windows disk and you throw it in, it's loaded and you're good to go. Now it doesn't do that.
I'll make a motion, line 342.12, Adobe Pearl for $408.
I'll second that.
Then moving second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Line 342.13, audio conference, Microsoft Teams for 50, is that?
Yes.
Yep.
For every article.
Yep, I'll make a motion, we accept line 342.13, audio conference, Microsoft Teams, $50.
I'll second that.
Then move second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Line 342.14, sign now. What is that?
That's a thing you won't do.
Yeah,
Do we use that?
We do.
Yeah.
I
That's
use
the
it
one.
every single time I do a manifest.
Yeah, but do you do it for outside of the two commissioners?
Yes.
Anytime you need electronic signature.
Anytime I need an electronic signature, it goes via sign now.
How often do you need?
Oh, wow, at least twice a month.
Well, doesn't Adobe have something similar?
Hooks up to Adobe.
Yeah, I thought Adobe had their own. I didn't know if that's part of our package.
No. That's an additional Adobe fee.
And it's probably not any more cheaper than
okay. I'll make a motion, we accept line 342.14, sign now for $180.
I'll second that.
And move second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Line 342.15, Victoria Solutions, what is that?
It's that scheduling software.
$2,000.
Shift scheduling. Schedule vacations, sick time. It keeps track of all the hours everybody works, when they have their vacation, when their sick time is.
Wow, that's
If somebody wants vacation time, they go on their phone, pull up their app and request it. Then either myself or Kathy will look at what's going on and approve it or not approve it. And then it goes out to bid. And then the guys that want to work it can bid on it. say, yes, I'll work that, or no, I'm not gonna work it. And then also, if we have to do like a mandatory thing, we'll say, nope, you have to work, you don't have a choice. That's what that software does for us.
So is that a subscription service?
Yes.
Do we
Yes.
pay that annually or monthly or?
Annually.
And it also gives me the information for their payroll.
Yeah, so it keeps record of the hours, so this generates the reports to compare to our payroll system.
Can we add to the line item then that Vector Solutions is your scheduling and payroll reporting or something?
I mean, yeah,
Because we have that at work, that you can go in there and look at your vacation time and pull up all that stuff about it.
yeah, that's what this is.
Now, is this industry specific? Why,
Well, the package we have is specific for fire departments. I don't know if they do, they might do police departments and other things.
well, no, like, I use,
As compared to a generic.
well, I use Paylocity at work, and that's a payroll thing, and I'm just
Yeah,
thinking,
it's about payroll.
you know, ADP, Paylocity, paychecks, I didn't know if they had.
So fire department scheduling is quite unique compared to most
Oh, yeah.
industries.
And is this something new? Because I see it wasn't on the,
That is correct.
Yeah,
We
we
had a
should-
different program last year that did not work out at all.
We fired them. And this is less expensive than the program that we had last year too.
And much better.
sometimes you just have to go with the
Okay.
industry-specific solution.
Well, that's why I was asking if it's industry specific versus going with an ADP or a Paylocity
Yes.
or paychecks or.
If you go through ADP, I wouldn't do payroll anymore. This is payroll service, but it would not work with fire service.
Okay, so somebody want to make a motion?
Make a motion to move line 342.15, Vector Solutions, for the amount of $2,928.
I'll second that.
Then move in second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we can go to page 12.
Eight. 9. 10. Ooh, that's the brown. 11. 12. This is, okay.
This is the apparatus and equipment budget.
You have finished with the operating budget except for benefits
Insurances and
and payroll.
Okay.
So the first page of apparatus equipment is page 11.
Right, but that's,
Okay.
There's nothing on the vote.
So the comparables are going to be back in the regular.
no, actually, they were brought up.
We moved them over.
Oh, the actuals here?
Yes. Sorry, I must have missed some of these. I didn't bring them over.
And some of the writing we put on there to tell you that it's moved, is taking some of the squares where it would be too.
Right, text.
I guess we could start with ComStat, yep. 44220, under 331 ComStat, 37,500.
They get paid a percentage.
6% of what is collected.
So what if the percentage is more than what we allowed for?
We still have to pay.
So you pay them whatever,
Yeah,
so this number really is,
it's a good guess.
it's a guess.
Yeah.
but it could be
It's
less.
kind of like an educated guess of figuring, you know, how much, looking at our revenue projections for ambulance collections, where it's gonna be, what the percentage is, it's gonna be close to this.
I know, but why, I guess my question is, why would there be a number?
Because you have to appropriate a number to pay it. You could put one there, but then as long as there's $1 there, we can pay the bill, but we still have to have the money appropriated somewhere in the apparatus equipment fund to pay Comstar. They don't take the money out, they give us all the money they
Okay, so
collect,
that, okay, so
and then they
that's what I
send us
mean.
a bill.
I thought they took a percentage over.
No.
Yeah,
They
okay.
don't
They send
take,
us a
no,
bill.
they have to send us a
Okay,
bill.
that's hard. Okay.
So are you anticipating that for 2023, the actual is going to be close to the 37,500? That's
If we collect around
appropriate.
600,000, yeah.
Do you not anticipate that next year we'll have more?
Our ambulance revenue has been going up year over year. I don't know if I have that
You
here.
took it, put in the same amount as this year.
I did.
Because you had 31,000 in 2021 and 36,000 in 2022.
Yes, that's
So-
correct.
And the actual in 2023 is through September.
Didn't the percentage change in 21 or
Yeah,
20?
that's September's bill, yeah.
A few years back, I renegotiated from 7.5% to 6%.
I was thinking it went up or something.
No, it went down.
Let me double check and see.
I like that.
Yeah,
Sometimes I start to
that 24.9 is for,
Let me just double check and see how far we've gone through. Because I don't want. That's through September.
So 3 months.
So that actual is 24,000, about 25 grand.
Right.
Yes.
That would put us at about 33.2 based on the average.
so is our revenue going to be less this year than last year?
Actually, our revenue is more than what it was last year so far.
Just depends on.
Depends on when.
And
It depends on
every
when the money comes
month
in.
is different.
Right. All right.
I mean, some of that could be from billing in 2022. It was paid in
some Jan-
2023.
yeah. They sent us a check in January.
Right.
Even though the check is dated 2022, we got it January 2nd, then it goes to January.
Right.
So that dollar amount, the money collected goes into the apparatus fund, and this is paid out of the apparatus fund.
Correct.
Going back to your comment, it has to have a dollar amount, but what is it? Well, I guess you want to be accurate. All right, I move, I guess it's 4220, line 331, Comstar, in the amount of 37,500.
I'll second it.
Move in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 332, paramedic intercept, $1. I'll make a motion. 332, paramedic intercept for $1.
No second to that?
And move in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Okay, 630, equipment and maintenance repairs.
Sorry, I didn't know, I didn't carry those actuals over.
Okay. 630-101, mobile radio repairs, $300.
So all the mobile and portable radios that we received through our grant almost 6 years ago now are past their warranty period. And so now when stuff breaks, we have to have it fixed. And, but, this year we spent about $1,000 on it, but I hope we don't spend more than $300 next year.
Kathy, what's the actual, because it doesn't appear on the sheet.
I know, hold on, let me,
Portable or mobile?
That's a mobile and portable, so.
Which one are we on?
the mobile,
Mobile, sorry.
all right.
It says 0.
Oh, yeah, over here it says
But if you flip back.
In
to the
2022, it was $595, and in 2021, it was $785.
page.
What's the actual for this year?
0.
It is 0.
Well,
Oh, wait a minute, did I copy to the wrong line? Sorry, wrong line. Gotta move it down one. So, yeah, in 2022, it was $595, and this year it's $785.
where are you seeing that? Because on page 7, you have 431 as the actual for
Do I?
2020.
Oh,
Yeah.
then I copied the wrong number.
On page what?
Page
It's
7.
431.
All she did is copy and paste
Yeah.
on
I
have
copied the
zero- I
wrong.
have 0 on that.
on mobile radio repair.
Yeah, 300 budgeted and 0 actual?
Right, but in 2022,
Oh, it's 431.
431, she said.
I
something-
copied the wrong line, sorry.
So what's, so it's the number that you're telling us right here, right now is an accurate number?
No, I copied the wrong line. So the numbers on page 7, if you want to stay on the page you're on, I will tell you the numbers on page 7.
So all these are wrong, or just,
No, the actuals are correct. It's just that I didn't put the actuals down for 22 and 21. So the actual for 22, for 101 is 431, and 21 was 0. For 102, it was 544 and 12. $104 is 448 and 8.
These are all the numbers that are on page 7.
yeah, I saw it over here.
110 is 1134 and 22, and 2275 and 21.
All right, so we can use the numbers on page 7. because they're
Yes.
pretty accurate.
Those are accurate numbers on page 7,
Okay.
because there's no numbers on page 12.
Okay, I'll make a motion, line 630.101, mobile radio repair, 300. And moved second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Line 630.102, portable radio repairs, for $1,000. Somebody want to make a motion, or?
Was there, what was appropriated in 2023? Because neither page 7 or page 12 has what was appropriated.
There would have been nothing
300.
appropriated.
Last year?
On the
No,
portable radio repair?
it was 300 for 2023.
Where are you getting that?
I'm getting
Let
that
me come
from
back
page
to
7.
page 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta look at the right columns.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
300.
yeah,
Yeah, 300.
300.
So the total appropriated was 5,700 and we're at 7218. Okay, I'm sorry, continue.
Somebody want to make a motion?
For portable radio.
Yeah.
All right, I'll move line 630.102 portable radio repair for $1,000.
Second.
And moved second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 630104, emergency pager repair. For 2,500.
What?
I'm sorry, 250. 250.
She's like, yeah.
It doesn't matter, because if I don't spend it, it just goes right back.
Right, it goes back into the
fund.
fund.
It's just-
We spent money
But if you don't
the last
have it,
couple of years.
You have to have it to spend it.
Now,
It has to be appropriated to be spent.
Okay, I have a question. So, for instance, on line, well, I'll ask the question after we move, because we have a motion on the floor.
I'm not sure that we do.
Do we?
No.
No,
Okay, so, can I ask that question?
Go ahead.
All right, so before, it was a bottom line budget,
Yep. Still a bottom line budget.
but now this, aren't the commissioners in charge of these, of these funds? So the only reason why I ask is, okay, so we had $300 appropriated for emergency pager repairs, we spent $937. If that was the case, while that money was in the apparatus and equipment fund, would you have to come to us and say, we need to?
no, it's still bottom line,
It's still a bottom line
Okay.
budget.
Even within the fund.
yes.
So the apparatus and equipment fund is its own budget, and the operating account is its own budget. They're both bottom line budgets. You can't switch between the two, say if we had extra money in apparatus and equipment fund, but I needed to pay, it was an operating expense, I can't use that to pay that.
Can't pay the light bill.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right.
And the other thing is, if you only got, say, for a mobile radio repair, $300, you can't spend more than 300.
I can, actually. I can take it from somewhere else in the apparatus.
In that, say you only use 800, and the next line down, you could use it.
Yes.
But what happens, I'm just gonna throw a figure out there. We have $100,000 for all these different little things.
Mhm.
And, okay, it's next December, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, we're at $110,000.
Well, before we get to that point, of course, I monitor this very
Right.
closely. We get to a point where we have to pay Comstock. There's absolutely no, it's a contract, we gotta pay them, period. So I gotta
Right.
make sure we have money into paying Comstock. And if something breaks, like a portable radio, and we're getting close to the where we can't fix it, we won't fix it until the next following year, because I will not overexpend that.
Okay.
I just won't do it.
I think the other question there that I'm looking at is, last year in this group, $5,700 was appropriated, 7218 has been spent so far, and then the budget shows $14,525. So I guess the question is, were the things that weren't repaired or replaced last year, and that's why there's so much more showing up here, or is this just natural that it's time to do these specific items where all these additional costs come in that we didn't spend last year?
Some costs came in as unanticipated expenses that we had to have things done. And so when I'm looking at the overall budget, like, we have $45,000 in EMS disposables. I'll look at that and see where we are with their averaging what we're expending over. So, we could take a couple thousand from there to pay for this radio repair. And I just have to, I keep a running track of where we are, and of course QuickBooks does a great job of showing me the percentages of what we're expending and what we're not expending, and I make it all work. It's a little juggling act, especially with the apparatus equipment fund. It's a guess of what our expenditures are going to be. Some expenditures, like outlay items, I know what we're going to spend. In this year, we have service and maintenance contracts. I know we're going to spend that money. because we have the contracts to, you know, to make sure that our monitors and defibrillators are operating properly, our stretchers are working properly, things like that. Those things are known expenses, and that money, I make sure that gets set aside because I don't want to set us up for any liabilities. But then there's like a broken portable radio in engine one. I can't fix that, but I might steal one out of the rescue that doesn't do anything and replace it with that.
No, obviously this, you have some idea, like, under the tools line, you have $1,000 in there that last year you didn't, or last year, we've only, so far this year, we've only spent $40.
Right.
And it looks like that dollar amount was in last year, so are you anticipating some specific tools, or that's just in
That's
case
just
it
like in
breaks?
case something breaks. Yeah.
Taxes, rates.
Yep.
Sometimes a tool gets lost at a fire, like you put it down and then that part of the building collapses and where'd that axe go? Over there, something like that. Something like that happens,
Yes,
you know?
Lost a hatchet camping once. Found the head in the ashes the next one.
The handle burned. The handle was possibly burned.
I still want to know how it ended up in the fire pit, but anyway.
So we all set there?
Yep.
I'll make a motion, 630104, emergency procedure to pay up bill $250.
I'll second.
It's been moved, second. Any question? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, 630110, gas meter calibrated, gas and sensor, for 1,500.
We didn't appropriate anything this year for that?
So last year, they kind of said, they just took the bottom number and.
Oh, that's right, you get to just distribute it.
I don't think, the budget committee said, I don't care what that is, I'm just gonna give you this number and you figure it out. So, because it's the budget committee's number that goes to the floor.
So these have to be done every year?
Well, if you just nominated, made a motion to appropriate $14,525 for this section, that would be fine, because that's where that's where I anticipate where the money's gonna go. But the budget committee can do something different. They'll say, okay, we'll give you 10,000, you figure it out. And that's what happened last year. So that's why there's no numbers that was budgeted, that shows budgeted for last year.
So, for instance, you could have 500 feet of hose that you have to take out of service.
Yep.
And it's not budgeted for per se, but it's in there, so you could take it out.
Yep.
I prefer to be more accountable to the actual line item.
Some items they're very accountable for, like, I don't know if it was last year, they had a discussion for about 2 hours over replacing a lawnmower blade or
Is that
something.
last year or the year before?
A couple of years ago.
You have no idea. It was like
It was like-
$150.
Yeah, $150. Replacing the blades in the lawnmower.
No, it was,
Replacing the push mower.
no, I thought it was the donation of it was all
The
placed.
bark mulch. or
The
something.
bark mulch, because someone donated that, and then I was like, oh, yeah, it was,
All right, well, I'm gonna move line 630.110 gas meters for $1,500.
I'll second it.
It's been moved, second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll move line 630.112 tools in the amount of $1,000.
Second.
Been moved, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I'll move line 630.130 portable pump repairs in the amount of $140.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll we replacing all of our flashlights?
No, these are, the flashlights cost about $80 a piece, and we don't buy the rechargeable ones anymore, we just, they're cheaper, and they just put batteries in them, and, so they're not as durable as some of the older ones, but they like the light that comes out of them better for some reason.
It's brighter.
It's brighter.
Good LED.
They are LED.
Okay, I'll make a motion, 630-185, personal flashlights, $700.
I'll second that.
Then moving second, all those in favor?
Aye.
What's next year? 630-190, protective clothing.
Repair, this should
That's
say
repair. It
repairs.
should repair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Repairs is
You don't
not
say
on there,
repair,
but I'm
though.
adding repairs.
Yeah.
Protective clothing repairs?
Yeah.
Yes.
When somebody tears the pocket off their jacket, they
Okay.
turn on gear, they get sewed back on.
For $100.
I'll second that.
Then moving second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
But
Okay, 630-191, SCBA, 10 face replacement straps. Wow. That's just the straps on them?
Yeah,
Yes.
so,
That's not the mask itself?
No, this is the straps.
Holy smoke.
the mask is much more expensive. Yeah, the straps, you put on, take it off, put on, take it off, put on, take it off.
Yeah.
They stretch out after a while, and then you can't get it tight enough to get a good seal. So you have to replace the straps, or the whole netting, which costs more, or if you really want, it's $550 for one complete face piece. So the straps are a cheap way to go.
not much cheaper.
This is 10 sets,
I know, but that's $326.
yeah?
Well, it's 10 sets, so how many in a set?
There's two for each. 2 straps per set.
So you can replace the straps for $326, or you can replace the whole assembly for $500 and whatever?
If that's the current price.
How often do you have to replace the rest of the, how often does the whole assembly have to be replaced?
Only when you break it. So usually like if you get overheated, the lens crack, you might not even look cracked, but if you shine a light through it, you can see where the cracks are, and that means it's going to fail in the fire, and you don't want that to happen, so.
Now, how old is somebody, because you would think after a while, I mean, when I don't ever remember replacing any of the masks that were broke, but the seals and stuff, they're good for, you'd think the seals around the edges would, after the heat and stuff, after a while would get to them. I mean, I think it's good to replace the straps, and I won't come back next year and say we gotta replace 10 masks.
We don't replace 10 masks. We usually,
We have 4 in the budget this year.
yeah, we have 4, to replace 4 masks a year in our budget.
All right, I'll move line 630.191 SCBA for replacement straps for $3,260.
I'll second.
Then moving second, any discussion here, none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is 630-201 EMS equipment, AED batteries and auto pulse. Batteries, they take
Well,
that.
it's the batteries and the repair of the auto pulse. We spend about $3,000 a year. We have 2 auto pulses. Those are the CPR machines.
Yeah.
They've been averaging about $3,000 a year in repairs. Pretty soon we'll be asking for new ones.
Those just die, right? Like, they don't give any warning, it's low battery, they just, if I remember, there was something that you had that like gave you no
Yeah.
indication of.
Yeah.
No indication whatsoever.
All of a sudden you go turn it on and,
Or it dies.
Or it
In
dies
use.
in mid-use.
well, yeah.
That's not good.
No.
It's not a good look.
I make a motion line 630-201 EMS equipment, AED batteries for the auto pulse for $3,000.
No second.
And move second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
630-210 thermal image camera repair, $775. Just one camera, or?
Well, we have 3 ticks, and they get beat up pretty badly, and they just need to get fixed every once in a while. Little things go on, broken on them, straps, things like that. It's just,
I would imagine a lot of your equipment gets worked pretty hard.
and they're actually designed for firefighting, but
Still.
they get beat up.
Okay, I'll make a motion, 630-210 thermal imaging camera repairs for $775.
Second.
Then second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Fitness equipment maintenance?
Yeah, so that's like the treadmill and the Stairmaster and all those things. We had somebody come in once a year to go through them all, make sure they're working properly, and so the guys can stay fit. They do all the cables on the things.
I'll make a motion to fund line 630.240, fitness equipment maintenance at 500.
I'll second that.
And move second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Okay, next, 330. Sale,
Unanticipated.
unanticipated equipment repairs, $2,000.
That's just for whatever.
Yes.
Catch all.
Well, if something breaks, it's not funded, where it goes.
It goes away. Change those.
All right, I'll move line 630.330, unanticipated equipment repair for $2,000.
Second.
And move second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Okay. Okay, let's move on, service testing.
So this whole next section are all
Set prices.
set prices.
What is copier service?
You know that great big machine in your office that does everything?
Is that a maintenance contract on it?
Yes.
I'll make the motion that we lump approve. Is that the right word?
Fund
Fund,
631 service testing. And then
the whole group of 631 service testing for $22,947.
I'll second that.
You move second, any questions? I do.
Yeah, I do too.
The water cooler, $750. Have them serviced?
It's 2 of them.
Have them serviced though?
Well, they come every,
Twice a year.
twice a year, they change all the filters. If something's broken, they just replace it. I mean, we just got a brand new water cooler for nothing because the other one broke for some reason.
It just bothers me, a person buys something brand new and you gotta have a service to come fix something that's brand new.
We don't own one.
We rent them.
That's,
Don't we pay so much money for them?
No, that's the total cost.
We pay for the water though, right?
You pay for the water.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Oh,
pay barely for the
oh,
water.
wait,
This is,
that's the one upstairs in the
Yeah.
dining room. It's
Right.
just a filter.
right,
So you're taking town water and you're filtering it.
right,
You're not getting the bottle, like the 5-gallon jugs.
No.
right, and there's one at Park Street as well.
So we're paying for a filter. It's, oh, boy, that's crazy.
I just went through the filter. We put in a brand new filter in my house a couple months ago, then we had that water main break the other day, and my filter's clogged because there was that water main break. And
That's what happens, same thing.
yes, it gets out all the sediment, but now
What's filter cost?
like $60.
Really?
Yeah.
So, we've only spent 7,900 so far. Is that because some of this hasn't happened
That
yet?
is correct.
Yes.
And we anticipate that we will spend all that $20,302?
That is correct.
Yeah,
They haven't, the ladder testing, the aerial and the ground ladders will be the end of the month. And then the boiler inspections haven't been done. Fire alarm annual service test hasn't been done.
a lot of this gets done at the very end of the year.
Yeah,
What is this striker?
That's the stretchers and stair chairs.
mhm.
And the loading system in the ambulances.
Yeah.
So when we put the stretcher in the ambulance, there's a track and it electronically connects to the stretcher and keeps the batteries charged in the stretcher through induction charging and all that kind of stuff.
The SCBA's, does somebody come in to do that, test them all?
The
Every
fit
year.
test, yes.
It has to be done every year?
Mhm.
So if those batteries need to be replaced in a stretcher, where are those coming
We have to buy them from Stryker because they're proprietary batteries. They're actually made by DeWalt, but you can't buy them from DeWalt. And
in? But would they be covered under this, this is just testing, this isn't actual?
this is certifying that
Right.
they'll, like if the wheels need to be oiled on the stretcher, they'll oil the wheels. But if we need a new wheel, we have to buy the wheel, they have to install it, and then they certify that that stretcher is safe to operate.
So if you had to buy any parts for it, would those parts be purchased against one of the vehicles, or would, for that stretcher?
Against the stretcher.
Against the stretcher, out of the repair section, which is the one before us,
Okay.
that we just did.
And that's what it costs for the compressor? $1,400. What, just come in and,
They test the air to make sure that it's a grade E breathing air, make sure there's no contaminants in it. They change out the filters and that as well, and they make sure that it's operating properly as well.
let me ask you-
It's kind of like a car. You gotta change the oil, change the filters.
Yep, I understand. Now, let me ask you another question. When we pay for this service, for them to come in and service them, what happens if they service it and a month later or a week later or whatever, it doesn't perform right? Who's liable for it?
Depends upon what's wrong with it.
I mean, you have somebody, it's like having a mechanic work on your car. He does something to it and it don't operate properly. Should you have to pay for it again, or it should be?
So like if you go and have your car serviced, you change the oil, and you drive the car away, and a week later, the left directional isn't working, who's responsible for that?
But this isn't a maintenance contract, this is just testing for certification purposes on some of this, right?
Yes.
Some of it is, but you know, when you test something, you know, it's like you test the compressor, let's say the compressor, you test it, and they come back and say, hey, this needs to be fixed. So, yeah, we have to pay for it to get it fixed, but if he does not tell you, and say a week later, this happens, I mean, we had it tested, why didn't you tell us then? I mean,
Maybe it wasn't broken then.
It wasn't broken.
Yeah,
well,
It's like your left directional wasn't broken when you changed your oil, but now it's broken.
I don't know, it just.
You just get your car inspected, and all of a sudden your tail light is out, and it passed inspection,
And the cop is pulling you over.
yeah, the cops
I
pulled
just
it.
had it inspected.
Really?
Go after the guy who
Well,
inspected it.
Well, no, because it was probably working, but things have a certain lifespan. and
Unless
they
you
break.
paid Louis for a sticker.
Vinny, not Louis.
Then
So that line item's gone up 10%? More than 10%.
I wish I could say that everybody held their prices.
Why was the 2022 only $11,000? Because 21 was 18, which seems appropriate. You know,
Some things only have to get certified every few years.
No, this list is every year.
Well, Stryker, we didn't have in 2022.
in 2021, there was 3567.
Right.
Did we replace some equipment, or?
The stretchers and stair chairs and they're 13, 14 years old.
mhm.
Did we not have them inspected in 22?
It's possible, but I don't, it's not something that I would recommend, because if you don't have them inspected and serviced and something goes wrong, then we would be liable for that to go wrong. If something went wrong, somebody got hurt or something.
All right, there's no motion on that, I think.
Somebody second it?
It was moved and seconded.
Okay, been moved and second, all those in, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Vehicle repairs.
So, where's my list of vehicles? So every year, we have our vehicles maintained, and the things that I know that have to be done to them are attributed to each vehicle. And that you'll see a number for each vehicle that we have. And most of it's PM, our tires, things like that. The $20,000 number at the top is whatever breaks that I know that, that I didn't know about.
All right, so why, I'm sorry, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So for example, so far this year, we spent $16,000 on ambulance one.
Mhm. Wasn't part of that when the AC exploded?
That was in the back, wasn't
Yes.
Right, so you had, and then you had obviously on engine two, you spent twice as much as what you thought was budgeted. I guess I'm looking at, $41,795 was appropriated, we're already at $41,208. I'd like to think we have some pretty new equipment.
We do.
Oh, on engine one, was it, yes.
Engine one's
The
under
deck gun
warranty.
repair the deck gun had to be repaired, because that came off the old truck, right?
Yeah, we moved the deck gun from the old truck to the new truck, and when we put on the new truck, it looked like a lawn sprinkler that was going on there everywhere. So we had to repair it, rebuild it, and all that kind of stuff. Which saved us several $1,000s over buying a brand new one.
So, well, I guess the question is then, we have, we spent 41,000, we budgeted and have spent so far $41,000, and this year, we've got $49,000 in there.
Part of that, chief, was the HPUE's installation
So we had
and
to,
the equipment.
so we had to put new Wi-Fi devices in the engines and the ambulances, and those were put on the engines and the ambulances.
So how do you come up with the amounts?
So I have a schedule of, for every vehicle, I have a big spreadsheet, I don't happen to have it with me, of what is scheduled for maintenance, preventive maintenance. I measure the tires, see which vehicles are gonna be needing tires, which will not be needing tires. At least I don't think it will be needing tires. I price all that out for each vehicle. How many times is that vehicle gonna go in for, oil changes and things like that. The engines usually go like twice a year for those types of things, like my car is like 4 times a year, the deputy's car is like 4 times a year. The ambulance is like 2 or 3 times a year anyways, some of them 4, depending on how many. The light tells us,
Right.
you gotta bring it in, through the computer system on them. If the guys, go up a bad driveway and they blow a tire, those are unexpected types of things that we have to replace the tire. Then there are other things that just break that unanticipated. And that's where that other stuff comes from. But everything that I know that we're gonna do is itemized. It's that $20,000 number that, I don't know.
So like an engine one where you've got $6,600, that's because you have anticipated $600 worth of repairs. I'm gonna do any of that. And on page 13,
Yes,
Yes.
so UPS is putting tires.
Yeah, so those trucks go through tires like there's no tomorrow.
right, so that, right.
And I want to make sure when the winter rolls around, we got all good new tires on them. And during the summer, I'll let them get a little thinner, never below 4 millimeters. Millimeters, I believe. 4/32, I think it is.
Right, 37.
Yeah, I never let them get below that. In the rears, never below 6. But in the winter time, we make sure we have good tread in all the tires. If we need to buy tires, we buy. And in the ambulances, we have winter tires and summer tires.
Right.
Switch them out entirely.
Questions?
What's your name that's gonna be replaced next, A1?
Yes.
A1 would be the one to replace if we replace it, like a different plan.
A2 is the new one,
The
Yes.
newer of the two.
and which engine's the new one?
The newest one is engine 1.
C2 and C3?
Car 1, Car 2, Car 3. Car 1 is the chief's, Car 2 is the deputy Robinson, and Car 3 is Deputy Dalvaney's. And Car 2 is a private owned vehicle that he has his radios and everything installed in.
So what, oh, wait. Before I ask. How come car 2 is on page 13, but it's not on page 8?
Probably because,
But car 3, oh, no, wait,
Car 3 is listed twice.
no, car 3 was listed twice on page 8.
okay.
It's down
That's a
14,
typo.
down 21.
That's probably,
It's a typo. The bottom one should be Car 2, should be 21C2, 660.21 should be C2.
It should be what?
C2. I made a typo. Good catch.
Looking at numbers.
Thank you. I'll fix that
But what did we
right now.
spend $1,000 on?
so he got a new vehicle,
Oh, that's right, I remember.
so we had to transfer all his lights and radios from his old vehicle to his
This
new
new one.
I remember that.
Mhm.
I wonder why I haven't seen him in, it was still a
Went
winter.
from like a Tahoe to a pickup truck.
We're looking for the wrong vehicle.
True.
I think they're both white, whitish,
Yes.
opal color type of whitish.
I don't know, it's kind of true.
Yeah, but there was like a period of time earlier, a couple of weeks ago, or a few, 806, I passed you the same spot every day. So like, you look for people, like I used to see, the deputy.
Mhm.
So I can, you wanna change anything? Or change it.
No, I think we, need to trust the chief's, gotta take the chief's guidance on this. All right, so I make a motion that we fund 660 vehicle repairs in the amount of $49,004. Is that the correct amount?
Yes.
On page 13.
49,000. Okay, it's been moved. Can I have a second? Been moved second.
I think, discussion?
Any discussion?
Well, I was just looking back at 2021 actuals of 44,000, 22, 32,000, and then we spent 41,000 so far this year. And I guess, you sit here and go, even though in your mind you go, it's all brand new equipment, it's not all brand new equipment. And prices of everything have gone up.
So A1 already got nearly 100,000 miles on it.
Right.
A2, so I think it's 30-something thousand miles on it already, They've used a lot.
I mean, and obviously you need to maintain all this equipment. Otherwise it can end up costing more than it
Cost of oil, the oil change gone up. Just the oil's gone up. Cost of oil and tires, because they're rubber
tires.
Gone up.
Yeah,
Cost to pay the people to do those things, gone up.
Okay, has been any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Page 13. It is.
7:36. Want to do one more?
You're almost done.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Not waiting almost because of the payroll. It's big.
I know, but you're almost done with everything except for payroll and other
Okay.
things.
Okay. Okay, line 740. I'm going to do, wow. Go through each one or?
Well, maybe just a quick overview.
I can do that if you like.
We have, I don't know, the page I'm looking at shows appropriated $7,700 and we spent $27,000 and the budget is $72,000.
So this is purchases of equipment, but it's different every year.
Right. Okay,
I can, if you want me to run down the list of what's going on here, I can do that, if it would make it clearer for you.
Where was this in what was it? Oh, this is,
This is,
yeah, no, right, this wasn't one of the things I was moving.
No.
No,
I'm looking for,
This stage where it always is.
yeah, that's it.
I do have on the base station repeater.
Yep.
27,000,
So this is, so now that we have, I got a grant to connect Pleasant Street with a radio receiver to Shed Road to our repeater system. And now we've added the tower at Park Street. What I'm proposing, so we can bring that into our system, is a microwave link. So the microwave link goes from Pleasant Street to Shed Road. What we want to do is make the microwave link go from Pleasant Street to Park Street, and from Park Street to Shed Road. That brings that site into our radio network, and this is what we need to do that.
and what's it cost yearly to maintain it, or?
Well, it's a radio, so
I mean, we're gonna get charged every year a certain amount,
no,
This
the
service-
the microwaves are relatively, and you put them up and they run for 10, 12 years, and then you gotta replace it, or part of it, or something like that. They call it a microwave because of the frequency it operates at.
So you're putting up antennas
Yes,
and
dishes,
connecting.
the dishes. Kind of like, if you look at the tower over here, there's 3 little sticks that stick up at the top of it, those are antennas. And then there's a microwave link antenna that's like 2 feet in diameter pointing up the Shed Road. And that goes from the police station here up to Shed Road for the police department radio system. But we also use that link for our, at Pleasant Street, Channel 7 receiver for Lakes Region Mutual Aid, goes from that tower, microwave link to Shed Road, microwave link to here, to fiber, to Belknap Mountain, to the voter, and that repeats whatever it is to the 10 transmitters in the system and repeats it all at the same time.
So this is a one-time charge.
Yes, it's a purchase of a piece of equipment, a radio, to enhance our radio system.
Does the system work without it now?
Yeah, that site is not connected to anything,
Which site, Park Street?
Park Street. So this is something that I talked about when we put this way back. I said, at
Could
some
go over
point,
the hill or something.
yeah, we'll add equipment to that once it gets built. When I talked about it, several years ago, before it was, when I first proposed that we go out to bid for a project like this. And this year, I'll be writing another grant to add more receivers to that system. Try and get that through the Homeland Security grant. That's why I'm not asking for more than the link. We just want the link right now, and then we can add to it to enhance the system.
What do those future costs look like?
Radio receiver, clock. I'm probably looking around $50,000 grant. I think I haven't got all the estimates in on it yet, but hopefully I'll be successful with that. Because the one that I have for the microwave links was $58,000, but that added receivers too for both the police, fire, and Lakes Region. We did a cooperative thing, but I wrote the grant on it, and so I'm managing it.
The rest of this looks like replacement, a lot of replacement parts.
Yeah, so pages, $625 for pages, $30 for batteries. The IM responding app is $660. We need a new rescue dummy for the firefighting portion, not the medical side, but the one we drag around the building and beat up. The one we have now is missing a leg and an arm. That's $17.50. We need to buy 10 lengths of large diameter hose. We just did all hose testing and we have to replace 10 lengths that failed. The water can straps, for the pressurized water cans, we want to get one for each engine so that instead of carrying the can like this, the strap, you can sling it and carry it easier. That's what $70 is for. Batteries, $200 for just batteries, the double A's and all those kinds of things. Protective clothing.
No, you just said flashlight batteries. Did you say 200?
Flashlights and batteries.
You said 200? It says 900.
I was,
Yeah, we voted for 700 something.
Yes, we did. That was in the repair part. These are for new.
Okay.
You mean 900 or 200?
Well, it says 200 here. Let me look here. That would be
185 is 900 on my sheet.
So there's more things on 185 than just that. It is 900. So 10 at $70 for $700, and then batteries 200 for 900. So that's 180. 185 is $900. I had it broken down piece by piece in here.
So you have flashlights here and on the.
Yeah, I doubled up.
Protective clothing, how much gear is that by? It's quite a bit, 24,000. I know it's expensive.
It's 4 complete sets of gear plus 4 complete sets of gear comes up to $16,596, plus hoods, some helmets, some gloves, and some
And
boots, for a total of $7,471.
What do you? 7,000 what?
$7,471.
Last year, what did we buy last year? Did we buy any?
We buy it every year. We buy a certain number of sets every year. I think last year we bought 7 or 8 sets because we had new personnel. Every 10 years, the firefighter turnout gear is only good for 10 years, including the boots and the helmets. It reaches its NFPA certification maximum. And it's from date of manufacturer, it's not even when you put it in service. Because the materials that it's made of start to break down, and they don't have the protective factor of what they're supposed to do. So they throw it away after 10 years.
So in other words, these firefighters, the full-timers have 2 sets of gear.
All the full-time firefighters have 2 sets of gear,
So,
except the deputy and myself, we have 1 set.
it just seems, I don't know, it just seems funny, because we're replacing them basically every 5 years.
Yes,
Look at it that way.
you could look at it that way.
So if I was on there full-time, I get 2 sets of gear, so 5 years, I'm gonna replace 1 set.
Right, yeah. So you're spending, break it up for a year, and you're spending
It's expensive. Okay.
over $1,000 a year.
They need 2 sets of gear because if they have a secondary call after they just came back and the gear's
And
in
the
the
washer,
machine being washed.
even if they just are training and put smoke in the environment, stuff like that, it still has to be cleaned. So the stuff gets rotated quite often.
Yeah, I imagine that you have a couple of extra jackets, a couple pair of pants, just in case something happens.
Yeah, so like when somebody leaves,
Well, no, I'm talking like that. It's
we
just
take
photos.
their gear and put it in a room and keep it to its expiration date, and when we get somebody new, we try and fit them up until their own personal gear can be bought. They have to be measured and fitted and all that kind of stuff. And that takes several months for it to show up.
Any other questions?
It's a lot of money.
I hear it. You know, 500,000, we'll take about 200,000 right there. The money that you made through the ambulance, you're gonna take quite a bit of it right here.
I also have these we can look at,
You know,
which is the CIP.
the thermal imaging camera batteries, is that different than on page 12?
Yeah, so these are replacement batteries. On page 12 is when we break the thing. And I need, break the strap or something like that. Sometimes the sensor inside goes bad and you have to replace the sensor inside to tell, there's thermal sensors inside, so that when you look through the camera, you can see the temperature of what you're looking at. They're made pretty rugged, but they get pretty beat up.
Any other questions? Somebody want to make a motion?
$200,000.
So technically, 500, you're only making 300,000.
You're not really making that.
Well,
You're not covering the $1 million budget.
well, all I'm saying is, out of that, you're gonna take 200,000 out of the, yeah. So technically, you only took in, well, you don't look at that way, you only took in 300,000, but you're gonna use 200 here.
Gross versus net.
So in 2023, our overall picture for this fund is that we started the year with $579,012 in it. We're gonna bring in about $579,000. That'll bring us up to $1.158 million. From there, I anticipate $37,000 in Comstar billing. We're gonna spend $58,900 in fire equipment, EMS equipment. We're gonna spend $73,500 for, that's EMS equipment, $58,000, $59,000 for fire equipment, and $18,000 and change for rescue equipment. So at the end of the year, we're gonna have a balance of $972,174. So we started with 579,000, end up with 972,000, and we still did all that stuff.
I mean, it's good to do that, be able to do that. I just hope over the years we don't just keep diving that.
So I'll give you my projection for next year, for this budget. We're gonna start with $972,000. We're gonna buy all those things I talked about, that we're talking about here. We're gonna buy an ambulance, fully equipped, and a pickup truck with a plow, and at the end of the year, we'll still have $676,000.
Did you take into consideration this year? There's
Yeah.
200,000 here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We're trying to be judicious, but still make sure we're running a good organization. And then going forward, the same predictions, this fund just keeps going up.
I understand.
Even though we're buying the ambulances and cars and at some point an engine and things like that, it never goes below $1 million. And at some points, it's over $2 million, $2.3 million. We're doing good. And this doesn't affect the tax rate whatsoever. In fact, it's good because it doesn't affect the tax rate. And we're providing equipment and services to the community because of it.
And engines are gonna start costing $1 million.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, look how far out that is. And it's not too far from her, actually,
Well,
depending upon what you buy.
All right, can I make a motion?
Go ahead.
I move fire equipment, section 740, in the amount of $72,980.
Do I hear a second? Then moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, EMS. Guess we can do the whole thing. Line 741, EMS supplies. Total EMS is $45,180.
That's correct.
Without a motion?
No, somebody gonna make a motion, I'm just reading what it is.
No change from this year?
Well, we're not buying any additional training simulators this year than we did last year. So it's basically all our EMS disposables and our lab fee.
I'll make a motion, line 741, EMS supplies for $45,180.
Second.
And seconded. Any discussion? Any-
I'm good.
Okay, it's been moved second. Any, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Line 760,
There's nothing there until you get down to the warrant articles.
vehicle.
No, 960. The
That's
rescue
it,
equipment.
right.
There's nothing in there.
Yeah, okay. 960, rescue equipment. $10,712. This is for water rescue, what's that? 7,500 by?
So what this is going to buy is 2 Mustang suits with all the insulation for it and the whistles and all that kind of stuff, because the 2 of them are wearing out. We also have 2 new guys that need suits, so 2 suits for them. And then we're also buying 200 feet of ultraline rope for the water rescue, 2 200-foot lengths, 2 200-foot bags for those ropes, Pro Series litter harnesses, the harnesses for those, 2 of those, and some wire grip grabs at 4 of those at $200 a piece. And then we're also buying 4 batteries for the extrication tools. Those are Milwaukee batteries that we can get those at Home Depot or wherever. And that would be $740 for 4 batteries.
And how many rescue suits do we have now?
For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10.
So this is going to be another,
No, it's replacing.
okay, just replacing some.
Yes.
Well, you said 2 suits for 2 new guys.
Yeah, because they're different sizes.
No, so, but, I don't know, like, we just.
So we have 2 old Gumby suits that'll fit anybody,
Yeah.
but they leak like a crap thing. Then the 2 new guys, we don't have any suits that fit them because they're larger than some of the people that we have now.
Yeah.
So we need to buy them newer gear that fits them.
Now, does each person get their own gear, or,
Yeah.
so they all have one?
So if you're a certified swiftwater rescue guy, you get your own gear because it has to fit you.
And how many guys are certified?
About 10 right now.
And this is the volunteers too, or
Yes. Yes. You mean the call firefighters?
call for it?
Yes.
Okay. Call for it, but they're volunteers. They're called people. Okay. I'll make a motion in line 960 rescue equipment for the sum of $10,712.
So,
It's been seconded. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye. These warrant articles,
Mhm.
Cool. Email today, right?
is that something we should?
You don't need to do those
No,
today.
I didn't think we did.
We'll do those when we do the rest of the warrant articles.
When's our next?
Huh?
The next meeting to work on the budget is,
The 30th? Like the
you didn't
30th?
set one in November.
What's the next one?
So we have one on the 30th?
I thought we had one on the 30th.
Oh, yes, you do, the 30th.
Okay.
Sorry.
I have a conflict on that day.
Well, you better cancel your contract. And with the contract, because beer is all that is.
There's no big.
Oh, that's good ones. The day before
Was
holiday.
your birthday or something?
No.
All right.
And then I also wanted to ask you, speaking of talking about calendars, if you are available to switch those library dates with me.
Are the library dates still set?
Well, if they are.
I know this one's canceled.
The first one was canceled, after that,
I would probably,
When's the next one?
um,
I have November 18th, but I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah, it was,
November 4th?
I had the 4th and you had the 18th.
Right.
I had the four,
I have the
You
4th,
have-
you have
yeah.
the 18th.
so you want, oh, I didn't even have the 4th on my calendar, so.
That's because Tim was
Because you
going.
weren't going, so you didn't have it on your calendar.
So 10 to 11:30?
Yeah, so you available on the 18th? I mean, on the
On the
4th.
4th.
I'll be happy to switch with
Well, I will be greatly appreciative of that. Thank you.
you. My
Okay.
pleasure. Smile.
All right, so did you
When-
get that? We're switching,
I got that.
okay, so our next meeting, you cannot be there.
I cannot be here on the 30th.
And all that's left is salaries and wages and benefits. So, do you want to change that to a different day? Not the 31st, thank you.
When does the budget committee meet?
They are
Friday.
meeting this Friday.
Did we have?
Can you send out a reminder email for that? Like you
I
did,
will.
because I have it in my calendar,
I will send it.
but
Is Paul Blaisdell on that list?
He is.
Okay.
I'm the representative for that. So we haven't set a schedule because that's our first reading. That's usually what we set our schedule, right?
Right, but they're also going to get everything that has been accomplished to date.
No, I know that. No, I know
Yeah.
that, but trust me, we can either fly through this or we'll get hung up on something,
I know.
so.
I think the water coolers.
Could be.
That might be the hot button top.
Yeah, it might be.
Who's the chair of that? Catherine.
Catherine.
Catherine, until Friday when they decide on who the chair is going to be. And I hope they don't decide to meet on Fridays, because I don't want to be there.
Could we meet the next Monday?
The 6th.
November 6th?
Is that, okay, because the building committee meets on the 2nd and 4th
Yeah, so,
Mondays.
yeah.
So this would be the first Monday.
This would be the first Monday, and then we have a commissioners meeting on Tuesday, so you're meeting 2 nights in a row.
We had meetings 3 nights a couple of weeks ago.
I'm
Yeah,
fine
you
with
did.
You okay with Monday the 6th?
All right,
You
so,
didn't look at your calendar, Paul.
Where we meet?
How do you know? How do you know?
We'll
I
go
looked at
to-
it at work. I could
Let
have
me
it right
look.
on the wall.
I'm just doing town hall for now.
I'll look and see if it's available.
Excuse me. It's nice when you have feet select me, you should watch this.
It looks like November 6th, Town Hall is available. I'll send an email out.
Who's the new gal?
Well, Suzanne McDonald? But she's, from what I understand, she's only part-time.
She's just doing minutes,
Yeah,
meeting minutes.
and taking care of the calendar and, stuff like that in the office.
From what I understand.
That's November. So you-
November 6th. So remember, you don't have anything on the 30th.
Oh, let me take that one off.
Yep, take that one off. So
So take
come
that one
prepared
over.
on the 6th, Paul.
Huh?
Come prepared on the 6th to do salaries and wages. And then, once you guys decide on those, we'll be able to finish the insurances and the benefits.
Well, it's not like you can cut FICA, it's just a formula.
It's formula, what's it, yeah, right.
We're on that big FICA.
I got my Medicaid card the other day.
Oh,
You have to get it at 60?
65.
Five.
Yeah.
that's a little ways from that, so.
Okay.
Made a typo, I can't remember my
When
code.
you hit 90, what do you get after that? Everybody all set? I'll make motion, we adjourn at
Second, at 8:07.
8:07.
Second.
Move second, all those in favor?
Aye.
The building committee, when's that? I remember